Iowa, there was a woman who went into labor. And as Rachel Kohnen was in labor, she was in a rush to get to the hospital. And as a result, her husband, Ben, got behind the wheel, put her in the car, and then started driving very, very fast. Okay, he was actually admittedly going 30 miles above the speed limit. As a result, a cop wanted to pull him over, and he didn't stop. Okay, so here's Ben Kohnen's account of what happened. He, meaning the cop, followed me or starts following me, and he turns on his lights, and my wife says, "We can't pull over, the baby is coming now." Now at this point, they're about to have their 4th child, and according to his wife's account, this moment of labor felt very different from the previous 3 children she had. She felt that the baby was going to come any second. She was about to give birth in a car. So she said the following: "I think I was screaming, 'Oh dear God, we can't have the baby in the car.'" So you have like this moment, right? You have like this moment of panic, right? And they don't know what to do. And so they keep speeding. They keep speeding. The cop is chasing them. The cop doesn't know who's in the car. At this point, the cop probably thinks that this is a criminal trying to get away. And at that point, they used spike strips to blow out all the tires of the vehicle. And then the cop greets this couple with a gun. They get out of the car and they have to basically deal with the cop at gunpoint. And a lot of people were kind of upset about this, but I'm really curious to see what you think. I mean, what would you do if you were a cop? Honestly, I think the cop handled it correctly. I'm going to tell you the aftermath, but first I want you to tell me what you think.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. I think that if you're doing high-speed pursuit, you have to stop the car. You're worried that not just that they'll get away, but that they could harm either themselves or, more importantly, someone else. And so the spike strips seem like a relatively harmless, although it can lead to tragic crashes and deaths. I mean, throwing like the pregnant woman down on her stomach, holding the gun and everything, that may be going a little bit too far. But like you said, the policeman doesn't know what's going on in there, so I don't really know what else he could have done. Unless, as someone said in the production meeting, I think it might have been JR, like they could have called in to 911.
Yeah.
That might have helped.
My understanding is that the couple attempted to call the authorities, but didn't get through or something like that. I don't know if I'm buying.
Bars.
Yeah, I'm not buying that, okay? I think that they were panicked. And it's really hard to think when you're in a moment like that. You're thinking about your unborn child and whether or not he or she is going to survive. And by the way, I should note that the cop then realized that she was pregnant and immediately called paramedics. They sent her to the hospital, and then she had a healthy 10-pound baby girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, if your wife's pregnant, like don't speed. Like that puts them at risk. Like I mean, look, you don't want to have the baby in the car. Obviously, she knows her body after 3 pregnancies already. But at the same time, speeding is probably not the best option.
Absolutely. I always wondered about that. I always wondered if a cop, and by the way, at this point, no criminal charges have been filed. The local police department is reviewing this case, investigating it, and trying to figure out whether or not it makes sense to file criminal charges. Yeah. I definitely do not think that they should. I think the couple was panicked. I don't think that they're criminals that need to pay consequences for what they were doing. Speeding was a really bad idea, but maybe this will be a learning moment or a teachable moment for everyone.
Yeah.
You know.
You always expect, you see the best possible outcome. I think they had that baby so they could speed.
Oh,
yeah, but no, I was raised on TV, by the way, that what the cop would do is the cop would pull them over, then realize, oh crap, she's pregnant, and then he would deliver the baby, like in Men in Black. Why didn't you do that, copper?